2 weeks ago, an Ellsworth, Minnesota woman donated one of her kidneys to her brother. And we are happy to tell you that Tracy Schultz and her brother Stan are both doing well after the surgery in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, this is called a living donation. And as we found out while doing this story, the need for kidney donors, it's dire. Every day, about 12 people on the national waiting list die. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, we find out what goes into becoming a donor.
Doctors diagnosed Stan Lupkus with kidney disease 3 years ago. He has an autoimmune condition called Buerger's disease.
Eventually, my kidneys progressed to the point where I had to go on dialysis.
Dialysis filters waste, toxins, and excess fluid from the blood when the kidneys are failing.
You're tied down. I mean, it's a daily thing.
About 1 in 5 people, once they start dialysis, will not be with us after the first year. And less than 50% of patients that are doing dialysis will be alive in 5 years. Now you compare that to a transplant. With a kidney transplant, more than 80% of patients are with us after 5 years. So it is a complete game changer.
Stan met with Dr. Mohammed Qamar, a nephrologist at Sanford Health, a specialist in kidney care.
And then we always bring up the idea that, your best shot of not being confined to the prison of dialysis is to find a living donor, which it's not always possible because most people, unfortunately, don't have someone available to just give them a kidney.
Stan had several family members offer to donate. However, siblings are often the best match. So his little sister Tracy decided to see if she was indeed a match for her brother.
There are multiple tests that the donor has to go through to make sure that there is such an match, and that hopefully there's no rejection in the end. And so it's like every test you kind of live on the edge.
We put them through a series of tests to make sure that they are able to handle the rigors of donating an organ, because our priority is not just the person receiving the kidney, but also the person giving the kidney.
Being a donor, I think people need to realize you can continue to live your life and things will be the same. I'll have just a couple weeks off of work.
Dr. Qamar says there's a big lag between the number of people who need a kidney and the number of donors. There are roughly 100,000 people in the U.S. on the waiting list. Last year, only 27,000 of them got a transplant and only around 6,000 from a living donor.
We can do a lot of good with medicine, but to do really extraordinary things, it requires the incredible generosity of ordinary people. And for donors, the take-home message is that your life will go on unaffected. But that emotional boost that people get from doing this amazing thing, that is something that you cannot put a value on.
I'm hoping to get back to somewhat of a, normal life and, just enjoying things.
It means the world to me to be able to help him.
So if you think you could be a donor, don't hesitate. Reach out to a program and see if you can donate and make someone's life go back to normal again.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Tom Hansen.
We provided links to the National Kidney Registry and other information about donating a kidney with this story on KELOLAND.com.